Hey everyone, it's your girl Peachy with another installment of Black History Month Create a SIMS. Welcome back to those who have visited my channel before. If this is your first time and you enjoy LPs, Create a SIMS, speed builds, and machinimas, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So stick around. Okay guys, this one will be a little longer because this spotlight is on one of the heroes from my hometown and where I presently reside. That is the small little town of Albany, Georgia. We are in the corner of, if you look at the map of Georgia, we're in that corner there, that border that's like an hour from Florida, like an hour from Alabama. It's small compared to towns that everyone knows in Georgia, like Atlanta and Savannah, and way smaller than my stomping ground of Los Angeles, where I lived for a few years. But we have notable natives here as well. I think I will spotlight them in another video sometime, but right now we are talking about Black history, and so we are going to discuss Mrs. Alice Coachman Davis. You may or may not recognize the name, but she is definitely a trailblazer, and when you hear her story, you will know what I'm talking about. Alice Coachman became the first Black woman athlete of any nation to win an Olympic gold medal, and also was the first American woman to win an Olympic gold medal in track and field. Raised in Albany, Georgia, Coachman moved to Tuskegee in Macon County at age 16, where she began her track and field success. The fifth of 10 children, Alice was born to Fred and Evelyn Coachman in November of 1923 in Albany, a predominantly Black small town in southwest Georgia. Her father worked as a plasterer and her mother raised the children at home. As a child, Alice was a tomboy, but her father, influenced by society's reluctance to accept female athletes and fearing for her safety as an African American in a segregated society, initially discouraged her from sports. Fortunately, Alice's fifth grade teacher and her aunt encouraged her sports interests and worked on allaying her father's reservations. Because of a lack of integrated training facilities, Alice ran and later trained on the dirt roads and up and down hills around town, mostly barefooted, developing strength and stamina. Coachman entered Madison High School in Albany in 1938 and joined the track team, soon attracting a great deal of local attention. At 16, she enrolled in the high school program at Tuskegee Institute. Even before classes began, Coachman won her first national championship in the high jump at the Amateur Athletic Union event in 1943. At Tuskegee Institute High School, at Tuskegee itself, and in wider competition, Coachman won 10 straight championships in the high jump between 1939 and 1948. After graduating from Tuskegee in 1946 with a degree in dressmaking, in 1949 she received a bachelor's degree in home economics from Albany State College, which is now Albany State University. During Coachman's prime athletic years, the 1940 and 1944 Olympic Games were canceled because of World War II. In 1948, however, she finally had her chance at the 14th Modern Olympics, which were held in London that year. Despite being past her prime at age 25 and suffering from back troubles, Coachman set an Olympic record before 83,000 people in the high jump with a leap of 5'6" and 1/8 inches, a feat that stood for 8 years. Upon returning to the United States, Coachman and several other Black Olympians met with President Harry Truman at the White House. But like many other Black soldiers returning from World War II, when Coachman returned to her hometown, she was subject to racially discriminatory Jim Crow laws still affecting the South. Coachman returned to her Georgia home by way of Atlanta, and crowds gathered in small towns and communities along the roadways to see her. Here's a clip from a paper, August 11th, from Albany, Georgia Parade for Negro. For the first time in history, this South Georgia town will hold a parade for a Negro, Miss Alice Coachman, Olympic champion, who was the first American woman to win a gold medal in field events in London. She won the high jump at 5 foot 6 and 1/8 inches, setting up a new Olympic record. Albany State College, which Miss Coachman attends, is planning to send a station wagon to New York to greet her and bring her home. There will be a ceremony at the Municipal Stadium, followed by a banquet and dance in her honor at the college. While away, she was a guest of honor at a party thrown by famed jazz musician William Count Basie. But when she attended a celebration in Albany, she entered a stage divided by race, whites on one side, blacks on another. Coachman realized that nothing had changed despite her athletic success. She never again competed in track events. She married N.F. Davis, had 2 children, and strove to become a role model away from the Olympics limelight. In 1952, she became the first African American woman to sponsor a national product after signing an endorsement deal with Coca-Cola. Coachman's post-Olympic life centered on teaching elementary and high school, coaching, and working briefly in the Job Corps program. She also taught physical education at South Carolina State College, Albany State College, and Tuskegee High School. Coachman retired from teaching in 1987, and her husband, Mr. Davis, died in 1992. Ms. Coachman remained in relative obscurity until the 1996 Olympics. Newspapers recalled her 1948 record, interviewed her, and recognized her pioneering role for black women in track. In 1994, Coachman founded the Alice Coachman Track and Field Foundation in Akron, Ohio. Her son, Richmond Davis, operates the nonprofit organization designed to assist young athletes and help Olympians adjust to life after retirement from competition. Here in Albany, she has an elementary school bearing her name. It was located in the area of the city where she grew up until the flood of 1994, and it was called Coachman Park. The elementary school now is located in a different section of town, and it is called Alice Coachman. In 2004, she was named to the Olympic Hall of Fame. She would be inducted to 9 Halls of Fame in total. Ms. Coachman passed away on July 14, 2014, here in Albany, Georgia. Here's to Alice Coachman Davis, Olympic champion and Albany native. Thank you for watching this installment of Create a SIMS. Don't forget to comment. Bye for now.